Hey guys, welcome back to a wonderful night of FetchQuest, where we are going to go ahead and experience a nice, relaxing night with no scary surprises at all. Kara, you want to catch us up from last week?
Sure. So the party set off to complete a task given to them in exchange for sponsorship into the Fallen Keep. Upon arrival to the Haunted Hill, we found nothing. Or at least two of us found nothing. And two of us zombie walked down the other side of the hill to the beat of some weird song. So we followed Zahn and Joven down a winding cave, accompanied by our very loud skeleton. And thankfully, eventually, the two of them snapped the fuck out of it. And we got permission to hit Zahn in the future if it ever happened again. We continued down to the bottom of the cave, where we encountered an incredibly lush space and a Medusa and living statues. A fight ensued, and while Joven was turned into a statue, we did defeat the Medusa and all the stone statues that were presumably the people that have gone missing. The Medusa's death, however, triggered the plant life in there to die and reveal a ritual site that involved the weird rock we got out of the slime cave, now revealed to be an egg of some kind for a currently unknown creature. After a lot of back and forth, the egg was placed on the ritual spot, fueled by the blood of the Medusa and the chalk from the statues, and is now beginning to hatch.
Excellent. So the room is filled with light. It is shaking. Dust is coming from the ceiling. You guys do hear the cracking sounds of the egg being broken. However, there's too much light emanating from where the egg is for you guys to see exactly what's going on. What are you guys doing?
Why? Why?
The guard book called this a treasure.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm with Zahn on this one. Why?
Oh, God. Sorry, there's a rope on my desk and I'm very distracted.
I mean,
So
I guess I'm just waiting to see what happens because
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the cracking does eventually stop. The room does settle down, and the light begins to fade. And sitting in the middle of the ritual site is an empty, like a few remnants of an egg. The shell, most of the shell is missing. It does look like a few pieces have been like scattered around this little hatching site.
I'm gonna go up and look, see if anything crawled out. What happened?
Sure, make a quick perception check for me.
Sure.
Cool. So you're looking around, and you notice that there is still some of the embryonic fluid that was inside the egg that sort of left a trail mark towards the mouth of the cave.
All right, I'm just following it. Well, I'm picking up, Joven and just throwing him on my shoulder.
Sure. He's actually. Let me check. What's your strength score?
+4.
Cool. Then yeah, he's a little heavy, but you are carrying him on your back and following this little embryonic fluid. When you round out the mouth of the cave, you notice there is a little scaly creature, still a little bit dripping, eyes shut, kind of like doing a little waddle crawl forward.
Does this look like anything I've ever seen, or is it just like a random lizard?
Make a nature check for me.
Sure.
Well, so it is a little large to be a wizard. It's a little large to be a lizard. It does have two small wings on its back. Its scales are sort of a mix of red and brown with some golden filaments every so often. It's got large feet for its body, almost similar to how a puppy has larger feet and ears. It doesn't really seem to have noticed you yet. But no, you're not sure what this creature is.
We all followed him out of the cave.
Sure.
I did.
Yeah.
It lets
It's
out
just-
a pathetic meep sound.
Well, what are we doing with this thing now?
I'm gonna pull some rations out of my pack.
Oh god.
Don't feed it. It's not a pet.
It's a
Its head
baby!
raises up in the air a little bit, and it kind of tilts. It's a sort of angular, like almost pointed snout towards Kara, and starts to kind of drag itself over a little bit. It's about the size of a cat.
Like a kitten or like a fully grown cat?
No, like a full-grown cat. Like it's been inside that egg for a very long time.
How many legs? You said it's waddling? Does it only have 2 legs?
No, it has 4 legs. It's just kind of like doing that, newborn
The baby
baby can't
walk.
quite stand, so it's doing a mixture of like walking and crawling.
Offer it. I'm gonna stoop down and offer it some of my rations.
So it takes the let's go for better tell. So yeah, so it's gonna take the rations and it's gonna crit. So you take 5 points of piercing damage as it nips at your fingers.
This thing is not your pet. I hope we are getting that clear right now. The very scary phrase that was on this thing was that a great beast would arise.
Okay.
This could be the great beast.
It's literally the size of a cat.
And it's a child.
Also,
It could be the size of a building within a year.
Under a year even.
It was just born, and it was the size of a cat. It'll be the size of you within a month.
I don't see the problem with this.
The
Also-
whole prophecy thing on it. This could be some great beast, and we're just allowing it to run free? What, do you think you're going to train it to be better?
Yes.
This isn't a fairy tale. That thing is going to outgrow you faster than you realize, and then it's going to kill you.
See, prophecies are kind of bullshit from ancient languages anyway. Because we're currently the only ones that read it. We could be making a lot of mistakes. Also, anything could kill me. Anything has tried to kill me. You have tried.
I haven't tried. You haven't seen me try. I just warned you that it could happen. Either way, I'm warning you now that this creature is going to outgrow you with how small it is now. And then it's going to kill you because it's a beast. This isn't some household pet. You've been talking. This was in a mad scientist's lair, and
It
you are
was.
willing to accept that it is safe.
It was at the bottom of a slime lake. in
That
a
he
tiny-
was on top of.
He wasn't on top of it.
The
slime was on
person
top
who
of it.
created it was living there.
We don't know that he created it. Look at it.
At this point, it does let out another meep and starts actually tugging at your dress, Kara. Like, obviously hungry. still.
Oh, yeah, I'll feed it more of my rations.
Cool.
I'll put it on the ground so it doesn't bite me anymore.
Sure. Starts just tearing away at the rations. Like its teeth are, you can tell its teeth are already extremely sharp. They look like they could crunch through metal. The claws coming from its, I keep almost saying paws. Its feet look like they could, shred stone like it was paper. This thing looks extremely dangerous, even though it was just born. And if it wasn't for the occasional meeping and the fact that it's still covered in embryonic fluid, it could be very assumed that this thing is actually a full-grown creature.
I'm going to divine sense.
Cool. You do not detect any of the presences nearby. Well, except for undead from Yovin.
Yeah. And our skeleton friend, he's still alive.
You actually don't sense anything from the skeleton.
Interesting.
Weird.
He's more of a construct then, most likely. All right. Only because I cannot 100% verify that this prophecy is exactly talking about this, I am not immediately killing this creature right now, I hope you know.
I'm gonna name it Noodle.
You're not going to name it! That makes it a
Alright.
pet, and it's not a pet.
That's a solid name.
You're in stone.
Noodle.
Whatever.
do I
It's
have to
your problem. Anything that goes wrong, I am immediately tossing it to you. And we are going to kill that thing immediately. More or less, I only want to take it back to the mayor so he can tell me what the fuck it is if he knows.
And we seem to have a walking dictionary with us right now.
I guess, but his knowledge is limited.
So at this point, Noodle, the newly named Noodle,
Don't call it Noodle.
it kind of hacks out a little sort of glob of green goo. And Kara, since you're closest, I want you to throw an Arcana check. You're feeling a little weird near this little thing, the little globule of green goo that it spat out on the ground. But Noodle does go back to kind of pulling at your dress again.
How many rations do I have?
Not enough to feed a fucking dragon.
Well, we can go back to the town and I can get Noodle some meat.
This is probably a very bad idea. I'm going to reach out to this creature with my awakened
Sure.
mind feature. And I'm going to ask it if it wants to be called Noodle.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You could have asked it anything.
Trying to see what it acts like first.
So you reach out with your awakened mind feature and you make contact, and this is this is an intelligent animal.
Yep.
And it, like, when you reach out, it kind of stops and blindly turns towards you, Damokos. And you don't get a response, but it does, like, kind of look in your direction for a moment before going back to pulling at Kara's dress.
Keep feeding it rations.
Cool.
No.
Okay, Zon.
Can I, like...
That seemed very intelligent of it.
Which is also more worrying than giving me any hope.
But now we know for certain.
I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Let's just Like I said, your problem. Anything goes wrong, your problem. If this mayor tells us it's dangerous and we need to kill it, I'm killing it.
Not bringing him to the mayor.
So you're just gonna walk into the fallen keep with him?
I mean, she has a hand.
Yeah, she
She's
can
got
hide a
3.
hand. She can't hide a fucking gigantic scaly cat.
I'll start trying to fashion something to carry Noodle with out of my old clothes.
I mean, your pack would fit Noodle. I mean, all you got to do is clear some things out of your pack, and Noodle will fit in it.
Oh, sweet. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I've assumed you've been carrying like sort of like a backpack-like thing on
Yeah.
your back. Yeah, backpacks can carry cats.
Good luck cleaning dragon shit out of it.
So, yeah, you do coax Noodle. I assume you're using rations to coax Noodle into your backpack.
Yep.
And God, saying Noodle is just.
I
had your
warned you
chance.
not to say
You
it.
had
You didn't.
your
Yeah,
chance,
you didn't
Morgan.
have to
You
say
had
it.
your
You did
The
it.
chance.
dragon wouldn't respond.
You ruined it.
Whatever. His name is Noodle now. So it goes into your pack. And you put your pack on your backpack, and then there's some scrabbling, like poking into your back from the pack, and then Alexander crawls out onto your shoulder, and is a little wet and has some bite marks.
I thought I
And
took
Alex-
him out earlier.
Yeah, he went back inside.
Oh. Sorry, buddy. It's fine. He's okay.
He does not look happy. I mean, as unhappy as a hand can look, he's just not pleased with this situation.
He's just jealous. It's okay.
He's like doing the agitated tap, like really.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, the multiple finger tap on the shoulder.
Listen, anyone else could have swum down and get that chest. But no.
All right. So, what are you guys gonna do?
I mean, I'm heading back at the
Yeah.
whim of the skeleton.
Well, the Johnny just seems kind of cool to hang out with you guys. But when you do start heading back, it does start to lead the way back to Lord Felmar's.
Cool.
When you guys do get out, when you guys do break out of the cave, it is about midday. The mayor's office is closed at this time.
All right. Okay.
Guess we're hanging out until sundown.
Cool. So you guys do have. It takes about an hour to get back to town. It's going to be a few hours before the mayor's office does open. So what are you guys doing in town during this short rest?
I'm providing a perch for birds.
I am getting.
I guess I'll ask a Johnny if there is anyone that could magically heal in the town.
Johnny's mouth opens. Good afternoon, citizen.
Yes. Is there any healers of divine or magical nature within your town?
That depends. What skill level are you looking for?
One who can cure petrification.
Lord Falamir will know more about that.
Of course.
Anything else I can do for you?
Nope. Not unless anyone else has anything to ask you.
Skeleton, mouth still open, looks at each of you. Thank you so much, citizen. Have a wonderful day, and remember, rules are for fun.
Yeah.
Jaw clicks shut, and the other Johnny has gone into the mayor's house.
Of course.
All right. So hours pass with Joven acting as mainly bird holder. He does get a few birds. He gets throw a performance check for me, Joven.
Sure.
Hey, you do pretty good. You get 3 birds that kind of just hover around you and just kind of lay down or like sit on your head and on your shoulders. Then the time comes, you guys do drag Joven into Lord Falamir's house. Kara, what are you doing with Noodle since you said you're not going inside?
I am buying noodle meat.
Fantastic. So if you're going to feed Noodle up, it's going to cost you about 5 gold.
Fine.
Cool. 5 gold. Noodle seems sufficiently fed and is snoozing in your backpack. Now, you can do this during the short rest before you guys go into the meeting if you still want to go into it with them.
No.
Cool. So, Kara is with a slumbering Noodle outside. Each of you go inside, greet the receptionist, and when it's your turn, you each go up to Lord Falamir's you each go up to Lord Falamir's office, where he is sitting down behind his desk. He seemed to be favoring brighter colors today. His tunic is a light purple, and his you can't see his pants, but he's seems in a brighter mood than he was yesterday. Evening.
Good evening. We have returned. Task complete. Fuck, I forgot to do that. Damn. Well, as I will show Joven off, you had a Medusa nearby, and we dispatched of it.
And if I may ask, where is the proof that you dispatched of it and not just gotten your friend frozen and ran?
Unfortunately, I forgot to cut her head, but I did. I'll pull out the small jar of Medusa tongue that I got. I did cut off a piece of the tongue because I was actually looking for one, but...
Well, I'm afraid that won't be quite enough as proof. So, he slaps his hands on his desk, stands up. I suppose we shall go have a look.
If you desire, sure.
As you guys walk out, he does snap, and some Johnnies fall into line. About 3 or 4 Johnnies fall into line behind him as you each do walk out. Kara, you do see the group, and everyone's leaving with them? Like Damakos and Joven?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
Joven is getting carried.
Cool. So, Kara, you see them leaving? You following?
No, because I just remembered we left shell pieces out there.
Yeah, you did.
I'm just gonna hole up in my room in the tavern.
Cool.
I don't want to answer any questions.
Fair enough. So as you guys are walking, Lord Falamir looks over and goes, I believe there was one more of you.
Yes. She decided to rest for the night. She was fairly beaten up after the fight.
Understandable. Medusas take a lot out of people. Each of you do go down into the cave, and he's going to make a quick perception check. And he's going to look around. This is not what I was expecting from a Medusa's lair.
It's not exactly what I thought of it either, but I didn't have much knowledge beforehand.
Fair enough. Yes, the Medusa. And as he walks across, we're going to do it quick. Yeah, as he walks across, there's a crunch as his boot steps on the shell piece. And he lifts his boot up. I wasn't aware Medusa laid eggs.
Neither was I.
He doesn't look at you for a minute.
Look, we want... Well, how should I explain this? We came here to do your task. We dispatched of the Medusa. Along our travels, we had found something along the way, which happened to fit in a hole which one of our more curious members decided that that was a good idea to do then, and something hatched out of it. The prophecy, as you can see, is sort of etched around in this circle here. I'm not exactly certain what it does or why it's there. I told them not to, but they did it anyways.
Oh. Well, I see. And he looks around, looks at each of you. Okay, well, a favor is a favor. When we get back to my office, I shall have the letters written for each of you. About your friend, I suppose you want him unpetrified.
If you could, please. We were asking the Johnnies, and they said you were the best one to come to.
Of course, this is my area of expertise. And he's gonna walk over to Joven, gesture for you to put him down.
Of course.
And he's going to kind of walk around him and examine him, look him up and down, kind of tap a little bit. And then he's going to reach into his pocket and pull out a handful of something gleaming. You can see like what seems to be almost like dust gleaming and dripping from his hands. He's going to put it up in front and go, and then murmur some words under his breath. And slowly the stone starts to crack away from Joven. Now, I can complete this ritual, but you understand, of course, that me doing this will cost you a favor. You're muted.
Of course, I was going to either offer... I have monetary amounts that I could give you, if that would suffice.
Money, at a certain age, money becomes of little import to you.
Of course. We are willing to do another favor.
Good to hear it. And he's going to finish up the ritual on Joven. And Joven, after about a good 6 seconds, the stone does go back into flesh. You can take your first deep breath after fucking 6 hours of being stone.
I just collapse on the floor for a second. Back to having to movement and stuff.
So, this thing that hatched, tell me more about it.
Well, it was about the size of a cat, scaly, wings on the back. Not exactly sure what it was, but it's a thing. It liked rations, as the other member decided to feed them, but I don't quite know what it was, and I was hoping you would have more information about it, being that this prophecy or whatever is around this area doesn't exactly bode well.
And yes, what does this prophecy say?
You can't read it?
No.
Unfortunate. It says something about, from sacrificing of the last blood, the great beast will arise. That mean anything to you?
No. And what last blood caused it to hatch?
Not entirely certain. We didn't exactly put any blood in it. We placed this object, it didn't even look like an egg, inside, and it hatched.
Interesting. I would like to see this, if I may.
I would love to show it to you, but I'm uncertain if our member would like to show it to you, as she is very defensive.
Fair enough, I suppose. Becoming a parent can be quite an ordeal.
To the immediate moment, we could show you a vague form of the creature.
I would quite enjoy that.
Before I do, is fire a no-no here?
Why would fire be a no-no?
I have to use fire to show you the shape.
Yes, but why would... Oh, yes. No, I won't burst into flames from looking at fire.
Okay, wanted to make sure
Yes.
before I
No,
just
it's
did it.
yes, it's fine.
Cool. I will then use prestidigitation on a torch that I have, and then following that, use control flames to.
So as soon as you do the prestidigitation to get the torch up, he goes, it starts to stumble back a little bit.
My apologies.
Oh, I'm messing with you. Go ahead, continue.
I guess control flames. Change the fire into the vague form of the creature.
That looks like a dragon. I'll have to consult my books to be sure, but that does look like a dragon.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It depends on the type, really. Do you remember the coloration of its scales?
I know you described it, but I didn't write it down.
No, sure. It was a bit more brown with some golden flecks across it.
Okay, so like a copper color.
Yeah, kind of copper, a little bit.
Copperish in tone. It had flecks of gold among the sort of bronze color.
Oh, well, bronze dragons are supposed to be very lucky. Pranksters, I believe. I'll have to double check.
So this is a good thing then, not a bad thing. And it's not something that we need to kill before it grows up, sort of thing.
Well, I would never condone the killing of a child. And, children aren't born good or bad. It all depends on the nature that they're raised in.
I guess I can agree with that. That's normally in intelligent creatures, but this was obviously a beast, which I can't entirely say.
So
what
it was
would grow into.
unintelligent.
Well, not that I know of. It's a beast of some
Seemed
sort.
very intelligent.
Well, if it's intelligent, then it's typically going to follow more than just its instincts, in which it could have the great capacity for good or evil, as all living beings do.
All right. I mean, I only wish to confirm. This prophecy doesn't exactly explain things.
Right. I, for the record, was very unaware of the prophecy, and am not by any means an expert on dragons.
Of course.
You would have to ask the scholar about that.
Who's that?
I forget his name. He's a weird fellow. The way he said his name made it seem like he was either lying or unsure of his own name, and I chose not to press the issue further.
Well, where could I meet him?
Oh, he's in the Fallen Keep.
Of course. Should I just go around asking for the scholar then, or are there multiple?
As far as I'm aware, there's no multiple scholars, and you'll recognize him when you see him. He's a very disorganized fellow.
Of course. All right. Well.
Excellent. And you guys are coming up to the town. You guys were walking as you were speaking, just to save time.
Yeah.
You guys are coming up, and he leads you into his house, where he has the letters out and seals them in purple ink. Yes. Now, please do not open these letters, and they will get you. They should get you the audience, but they should get you an audience with the humble leader. But if not, you may have to wait for the next night.
All right.
I do recommend you relax a little bit before you meet him.
All right, that's good to know. Anything else we should know going in? Typical traditions or anything that we should be aware of so that we don't offend anyone?
Not typically. You seem to understand the very basic gist of things. They'll be forgiving, especially with my favor behind you. And did you have any questions for me? Any of you?
I did not, and I don't believe they do, unless you wish to speak now.
I don't have anything.
Well, if you think of anything or wish to have some additional help, my load is quite light this evening. If you wanted to, Zon, I believe you said your name was.
Yes.
If you wanted to, Zon, then I could, of course. I know you have a prosthetic hand.
Oh, yes.
And your prosthetic, it is made out of...
I couldn't tell you exactly what it's made out of. I don't exactly know the finer details. I was just given it.
Of course, of course. What if I could give you a prosthetic that could act as a hand of your own?
That'd be quite interesting.
Well, I do consider myself more of an, I would say, amateur surgeon, to be humble, but I've been alive for quite some time. I took up this practice of surgery about 60, 70 years ago.
Are you suggesting a sort of replacement being sutured onto my own arm?
Oh, it wouldn't be sutured, nothing as inelegant as that. More of a regrowth, if you will. A fusing.
Interesting concept. I don't know if I could quite accept just yet. It is more of a sort of sentimental value.
Yes, well, for now I have enough time and resources to do so. So go ahead, take the night, sleep on it, and come to me if you... do see me again before you leave to the Fallen Keep. I may have some... gifts for you to give out.
Sure. What was this other favor you wanted from us as well for unpetrification?
Oh, I think I shall keep this favor for some time. When I find something worthy of it, I'll let you know.
Of course. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you once again.
Of course. And he looks back down to the papers at his desk and starts scribbling a little bit on them.
Leave and go find Kara, I guess.
Sure, you go to the rooms that you guys have taken out the night before. And Kara, you actually asleep or are you just hanging out?
I am very gently petting Noodle.
Cool. So you guys walk into her room and you see Noodle kind of draped over her lap. If anything, I need everyone in this room to give me a quick investigation check.
Are you going to tell us it's grown already? Because I wouldn't be surprised.
Roll 20 is taking a minute.
Might need a refresh.
Cool. So everyone except for Joven can see that Noodle has grown a little bit more. And Kara, you do... let me get a picture of full-grown Noodle. 1 second.
It is the first time I'm actually seeing this thing in...
Yeah.
It's true.
Kara, you notice that its scales, even as a baby, its scales are quite thick and hard. They do not seem like newborn scales.
It's been that egg for a really long time. Poor thing.
Excellent. So, you guys are all in the room. You have the letters of favor from Lord Falamir.
I will make sure that they all get handed out.
Excellent.
Can I actually confirm the color on this creature?
Yeah, sure. So it was sort of a more a darker brown with gold flecks that are coming through it. But now that you're taking a closer look at it, you can see that it's not really one color. It seems more of a mottled browns, blacks. So you see some whites inside of there. Really, the only straight constant is the golden filaments that seem to streak from the back of Noodle's head all the way down to the tip of his pointed tail.
You fucking rebirth Tiamat. I'm so done.
There's only one head.
Yeah.
At the moment.
At the moment.
Oh, it's so much worse.
So, what happened last? I don't even know.
Well, you got turned into a statue by that
Oh, I remember that
one.
part.
We killed it. Well, I sort of expected it. We killed it, and then we took you back after Kara decided to then take the time to figure out the egg thing that she found and put it in a circle that prophesies the return of a beast.
So how much time had passed between me turning to stone and you guys deciding to get a new pet?
Not long enough.
This is Noodle.
Kara's pet. Also,
Noodle.
none of us have accepted this. Just Kara's
you
pet.
named it Noodle. I'm sorry, was there a prophecy with this too?
Yes, there was.
Yes. The mayor would like to see that creature, by the way. He is thinking it's most likely not super harmful, but says it's a dragon. And I don't know what that is. So...
Aren't we aware that, like,
I mean, it's...
all the dragons got killed off a long time ago?
So, the knowledge of dragons is kind of like a thing. Really more of they've turned it to sort of a more mythical creature. According to legend, there was a great hero who brought dragons back and then killed them all. So it's kind of like people have taken that to be like an allegory for how power will take everything from you, and how good things can turn out to be bad things if left like alone or interfered with too much. People make up all fucking sorts of meanings for that, but you guys do know about, at least have a basic idea of what a dragon is. You've just never seen one. And you do know that there are no dragons. That is a firm fact. No dragons. Asterisks.
No dragons, just Noodle.
Well, that thing is apparently a dragon as far as he knows. But he'd like to see it to make sure that it's not one of the bad ones, if they're... whatever that means.
Is that in exchange for fleshy Yoven?
No. But I would prefer you show it to him as well, because he is more knowledgeable than us. Like I said,
Yeah.
You can keep it. I'm not going to kill it for now. But if it becomes a problem, it's your problem, not my problem.
I'm sure our parents have said the same thing about us.
Mine haven't.
Not out loud, anyway.
Not your
Wow.
parents, just James, apparently. And
Either way, tomorrow before we leave, we should show it to him.
Like,
Probably.
isn't he not going to be awake,
Well,
though,
yeah,
if we're
not
traveling during
morning.
the daytime?
like now,
We might
better.
be better off actually traveling during the night time from now on. I haven't exactly found them to be uncivil here. And the large bats don't really care about us, apparently. They think Yoven is a some sort of being that used to live here, so
I'm a little hesitant to name drop that. I
Yeah.
really don't want to. I still don't know a whole lot. It doesn't seem like he was a good guy, so it might not be good to introduce myself as him.
well, then wait till they attribute you to that name, and then you can start speaking as though you're him. Or I'll speak for you, just as long as they know who you are. That gives me more leeway to understand where they're coming from.
So it's showing Noodle another favor? It's just
No, it's not a favor.
not a favor to us. One for him.
I think it's more of us
It is a
being
favor for
courteous. Yes, it is both a favor for us and him. It's being courteous to not let him know that there's a dangerous creature roaming about his territory.
And so
He
we can
did
know
seem-
what we have coming along.
Exactly.
He also did seem more knowledgeable on this than we are.
He's been alive longer than we have, probably.
I 100% know that he's been alive longer than us. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, I just want more information about this creature. I don't want it growing up to be the size of a building within a week, and then you're stuck with it. And we're stuck dealing with other problems it has.
But he's sleeping.
Well, we're not going now.
Well, if we don't go now, then we're gonna have to wait until tomorrow night.
Well, then let's just go now. It's fine. Actually, probably better he's sleeping. He won't move around so we can look at him quickly.
I'm gonna put my backpack on my front, and I'm gonna put Noodle in my backpack.
Put the fucking baby in a papoose right
I
now.
need a proper papoose. I need to get
Jesus.
one. He's baby, and I love him.
It's gonna
Sure.
outweigh you within 2 days.
That's fine.
Cool.
He'll
So,
outstrength both of us in a week.
Actually.
He already outstrength you.
Definitely outstrengths Damokos and I.
So he's quite heavy. I mean, you fed him a lot, so he is getting a little bit heavier. His the way he kind of curled up in your pack is leaving his head kind of tilted backwards
Oh.
out, and his tongue is kind of hanging out of his mouth a little bit as you guys are walking towards the mayor's house.
It is infectiously adorable.
Can't put this down. This was meant to sit on a shoulder.
I mean,
Zahn doesn't have
dragons were fabled to be like cats, apparently, from what I remember hearing.
I mean, I only heard the tale of the guy who brought him back and killed them all. So
Your empathy for a creature that could eat you is going to be your downfall here.
Cool. So you guys do go up inside. The receptionist is not behind the desk.
Is there a Johnny outside the door?
There is.
Just peek my head out.
Good evening, citizen.
Where's the receptionist?
Oh, well, she does have a time. She does get a little bit of time deactivated whenever Lord Falamir is doing his experiments.
Is there a way for us to contact Lord Falamir?
Follow me. And his jaw clicks shut, and he starts to walk behind the building, leading you guys over to a one of the what are they called? The basement doors in the ground. You kind of
Cellar
lift
doors?
them.
Cellar
It's like
doors.
a bunker,
Is there not
Bunker.
really another
cellar,
name
or
for it?
bunker. Not really.
Not
Whatever.
as far as I
He
know.
opens. He shows you guys
That's
the
the
cellar
basement.
doors. And opens them and goes, "Valimir is at orders to let you guys in. Anything else I can do for you?
That was it. Thank you.
Thank you. Have
I'm
a wonderful
already
day.
walking
Stay
away while
safe.
he's
And
finishing.
remember,
Yep.
rules are for fun." Jaw clicks shut, and he walks back to his post. You guys all go downstairs, where it's you guys walk in, and you see stuff very similar to Theobrin's lab, except there's a giant stone slab in the center, with what you guys can easily recognize as a few rocks, the light spell suspended over it, and sitting in a chair, drinking what looks like wine in a glass is Lord Falamir. He's wearing a long white robe with thick gloves on his hands. I thought you were coming back for your hand, not for with everyone.
No, I'm still mulling that over. We just brought the creature here just to be inspected.
Is that it? Put it on the table. And he gets up and puts down the glass and takes off the gloves and shuffles off into another room.
You heard him.
Yeah, I heard him.
Put him down.
No.
We have to look him over. He's not going to hurt him. Oh,
If he starts cutting shit off.
I don't think he's going to cut anything off.
You guys do hear Falamir rustling what sounds like heavy books and metal tools in another room nearby.
He was looking for books. He told us he had some books on dragons.
Going to very gently lift Noodle out of the papoose pack. And
Are you trying to keep him asleep?
yeah.
Make a stealth check.
Okey-dokey.
Oh boy.
Acid perception of 25.
Actually.
Oh.
So you lift him kind of quickly, and he kind of meeps again and struggles a little bit.
Oh,
Wings
sorry.
pushing out against your arms.
oh.
But he does stop struggling as soon as he recognizes you. And you put him down on the stone table just as Falamir comes out, slams some dusty tomes next to him.
My God.
It's got wings.
Yeah, it's got. I'm gonna be very gently petting him the entire time, and I
Jesus.
swear to God, if Falamir pulls out something that looks like it was gonna draw blood, I'm putting him back in the backpack.
Dragon's
Oh.
first vet visit.
It essentially is Falamir seems very hesitantly going to lift him and weigh him. He's taking out rulers and measuring wingspan, and he's doing little sketches of him in a book. He goes, okay, so it's not a bronze dragon. I've never seen this coloration before. Claws are heavy at such a young age. What could that mean? Scales are, and he's gonna tap it with a little metal rod. The worm is kind of gonna snap at the metal rod a little bit. He's going, all right, interesting. All right. After about 30 minutes of him doing certain little tests and examining out a noodle, he goes, all right, I've concluded I know nothing about this beast.
Right. Well, it is a dragon. You can tell us that at least, right?
Yes, it is a dragon. I don't know what kind. I don't know really anything about it besides it's a dragon. I couldn't even tell you what its breath would be.
It's what?
Well, breath, some dragons breathe fire, some dragons would fire out lightning, some ice, some poison. I've heard of a dragon that's acid would melt the bones from your, or melt the flesh from your bones just as soon as you were walking up to it. No idea what this one would do. You
Didn't
must
it
keep notes.
sort of hack up something when we left the cave, Kara?
I assumed that was a piece of jerky that he couldn't get down.
Well, it could have been anything.
I mean, it was green, but
Can you get him to do it again?
I don't know. I fed him a while ago. I don't feel comfortable making him hack up. That's mean.
No, I completely understand. But you must keep notes. Understand?
Oh, definitely. I have so many journals.
Fantastic.
So many things.
Anything else I can do for you guys?
For sure,
sure
going
you
to
don't
that
want that?
scholar within the Fallen Keep as soon as we can, because I would rather not be blindsided by this thing.
I'm just a scholar.
Well, he has a name. Folomir didn't know what his name was.
Well, he said it, and he sounded like he was either lying or unsure about it, so I just didn't put any effort into remembering it.
Apparently a messy individual.
I'm gonna turn and look at Zahn, who was in that office with me.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying anything on purpose.
I wouldn't say messy. I'd say more disorganized than anything else.
I've had to run
sure
in
you
with a
don't
few
want another-
scholars that are more disorganized than anything, so that makes a lot of sense.
I think it's a common trait with scholars.
Yes.
Are you sure you don't want another hand? I have a few specimens you can look at.
Right now, I don't believe I do. But on our way back, if I have changed my mind, I will definitely stop to see you.
Fantastic.
Those gifts you had offered,
Oh,
I
yes,
don't want to
yes. One
press or
second.
anything. It's just
And
we want to leave first thing tomorrow morning.
he does leave. And he goes into another room. And then comes back with a series of envelopes that have been sealed shut. Yes, you could just hand these to a Johnny, and he'll make sure they get to the right people.
Of course.
Fantastic.
Just
Excellent.
any Johnny within the Fallen Keep, you mean?
Any Johnny within the Fallen Keep.
Of course. Okay. I'll keep them on me.
There are 5 individual envelopes. They don't seem to have names on them.
Is there anything different? Like the seal is different or anything?
The seals on them are different. They each have different animals on them, but they do all have crow on the very bottom left of the seal.
All right. I will make sure I get these to Johnny once we are there.
Oh, are you going back to the capital of Moroth?
When we will be when we finish our business within the Fallen Keep, we'll be heading back. Yes.
Excellent. Please see me before you do go back.
Of course.
Excellent. All right. Enjoy your stay. And he sits back in his chair, picks up his wine, and goes back to drinking.
Thank you very much. You've been very helpful in our time here. I will begin to leave.
Gently place Noodle back in the backpack. He's a baby. I have to treat him with care and love.
Noodle kind of like scrounges into your backpack. One wing kind of shuffles out a little bit and then folds back in. What's in your inventory, Kara?
I imagine I took the books out because those are pretty important, but the
Smart.
box is at the bottom.
Cool. Keeping that in mind. All right. So, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Eat the artifact.
Going to
Locked.
bed.
He doesn't have a handprint.
Cool.
Wake up
No,
early in
leave
the
us
morning
on.
so we can leave immediately.
Righteous. So, everyone, you sleep pretty well. Kara, when you wake up, the room is torn apart. The dragon has torn into the bed. Your bedroll is in pieces. It's chewed on the chairs, dresser, anything that can be chewed on, it's chewed on. And it looks like it's eaten a great deal of the chairs. It's also grown a little bit bigger.
Is his eye still closed?
Eyes are currently closed, but he's also curled up in the middle of the room, dozing off in the small pool of sunlight that's starting to grow.
Giant cat. I can just pay for the damages. It's fine. I should get him more meat before we head out, though. Pay for the damages and a lot of meat.
Cool. So go ahead and remove bedroll from your inventory.
That's fine.
That's it.
Might have
Cool.
to buy another one before we leave.
So everyone does meet up downstairs. Car's a little bit late, unless you didn't stop to clean anything and just kind of shoved
Oh
both
no,
Alexander.
I feel bad. I would stop to clean up stuff, but I know I'm gonna have to pay for some damages.
Cool. So everyone you do meet downstairs. Kara is about she's a few minutes late.
Everything
Trouble
okay?
in paradise.
He ate my bedroll, so I need to get a new bedroll, and I also need to get him some food before we go.
He ate the bedroll.
He ate my bedroll.
He
What else
ate
did
your
he
bed.
eat?
Huh? I didn't hear anything that anyone just said because it all overlapped. Does he still fit in my backpack?
He does. He's not by when I say he's not growing by a lot, but it's noticeable when you pick him up.
Oh,
He's only growing like a few inches at a time.
He's just gaining baby weight.
A few inches in under a day is not baby weight.
Bones. His poor bones.
About how much are the damages in like coin?
It's going to cost you around 120 gold to replace.
I have that much. I brought that with me. I brought that much with me.
Cool.
Okay.
So do you tell the innkeeper about the damage, or do you just leave that amount of gold, a large amount of gold out on the table?
I'm going to apologize, and then I'm going to give them the gold, and then ask if I can get like 20 gold worth of meat.
Sure. Yeah, you get 20 gold pieces worth of meat.
Cool. Then I have to get a bedroll because he ate mine.
You hear a satisfied meep coming from the backpack.
Yeah. You're too cute to be mad at, though. I'm gonna. Are there shops open?
It's not strong parenting.
Yeah, no, it's not
What?
strong. But this, it's during the day. There's some shops open. You can buy a bedroll for like 5 copper. It's extremely cheap.
Can I like also buy him a papoose?
Yeah, you can get a leather worker to make a papoose. It's gonna take him a few days to get it done.
Yeah.
Since it's a special order, he's gonna charge you 10 gold for it.
A couple of days we're leaving today.
Well, I mean, it's also not that far to the Fallen Keep itself. It's really only a few hours journey.
Oh,
Like at most 2, and that's if you're walking and stopping every 5 feet.
I'll just keep him in the backpack for now.
Sounds good.
It'll be okay.
Cool. So, anybody else wants to do? Any shopping you guys want to get done?
All of my silver stuff is going in the bag.
I'm
Cool.
gonna hand Zon my silver short sword.
Going in the bag.
I don't think I have any silver on me, so I'm good.
I really need to start.
I mean, other than silver coins,
Google
actually.
sheet with all the stuff in the bag.
Cool. So, you guys all start to head out towards the Fallen Keep. Another really quick encounter thing. No, you guys are good. You guys do make it at about an hour of walking. You go up to the sort of ruined keep that's made of the dark black stone that James himself was made out of. Standing in the front are two Johnnies with halberds crossed across each other, blocking entrance.
Good evening. Good morning.
Good morning, citizen.
We
This
need an
area is
audience.
restricted.
Of course. We have letters from Lord Falomir for an audience.
One of the hands kind of opens up and reaches out.
I'll hand him my letter.
He takes it and turns, and the gates kind of open a little bit, enough for the skeleton to get through, and then shut. And then the skeleton is gone, presumably to drop the letter off with someone.
Well, this is it.
Yep.
So, no, go ahead.
Yovers just rolls his shoulders and he kind of does a few like essentially warm up punches before just leaning up against the wall. Just
We're not here to fat them.
Yes,
Yovic.
please don't do that once we get inside.
oh, I'm getting it all out now.
Okay.
But
So,
yeah.
after about 5 minutes, the gates do open up again, and this time a very well-dressed figure comes out, and they're wearing sort of a cowl over their head. You go, please, any guest of Lord Falomir is a guest of the Fallen Keeps. Please, come in.
Of course. Follow behind this person.
Follow.
Shit.
So they're shuffling. You see the Johnny going back to his post. They go, oh, it's such a great pleasure to meet some of the guests of the Lord, great Lord Falomir. How is Falomir doing?
He's well. He's running his town shipshape.
It's quite an odd choice of his to run the town. Yes.
Not that I know of. It seems pretty honorable, and
Oh,
I'm
the
unsure
figure
what you
kinda
mean by that.
stops. And turns. Oh, I assumed you were great friends of Lord Falomir's from the way the invitations were worded. I'm afraid the Lord of the castle sleeps, and is not to be awoken until the break of night. But as soon as he is awake, we can get you that audience. You must be tired, hungry, thirsty. Anything I can get for you.
Well, then, if we're waiting for nightfalls, are we allowed to go anywhere else within the keep, or are we to wait until we can actually have this audience?
Oh well, of course, with Valomir's trust, we trust you to go to some places. However, there are some rooms that are restricted to
Of course.
restricted for living beings. Of course, we have. Where were you interested in? What were you interested in seeing?
Lord Falomir told us about you have a scholar here. Is he available to be spoken to at the moment?
I'm afraid he's taken more of a nocturnal sleeping schedule as well.
Of course.
You know, you stay here for a while and you begin to take on the habits.
Makes sense. Let's see. We're actually looking for a person. You wouldn't be able to help us find anyone, right? Or would we be better off speaking to the actual Lord?
You'd be better off speaking with the actual Lord about that. I'm sorry.
Of course.
Since I'm more on the day side of things, I don't get to see a great amount of things that go on.
Of course. Just anywhere you prefer to let us just sort of hang out until the night breaks, I guess, then.
Of course. Well, Lord Falomir did grant his lodgings to you while you stay, of course, and he leads you guys over to a series of rooms. It's about 10 rooms in total that are just extravagantly decorated. There's coats, there's closets full of formal jackets, formal wear. He shows you each to individual rooms. He really seems to be more waiting on you hand and foot at this point. Like anything you ask for, he's pretty much going to go and get.
All right. If you were to get us food and drink, would it be possible?
Of course. I'll be right back. And he disappears. So Lord Falamir's his staterooms do include its own dining room, where he does lead you to after you request the food, and then he disappears through one of the doors.
Guess we have to wait.
Yeah, I guess we do.
It's fine. I was expecting this, honestly.
Of course. Thought we could get a little bit done in the daylight, but not like we haven't met any uncivilized people during the nighttime either.
There's Domicos. Do you think it's possible to do a scry still without alerting them?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, if the person I'd be scrying on has taken a more nocturnal approach to sleep cycles, then like last time, Jethro was just sleeping.
You wouldn't be able to see the surroundings either, so.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Morgan, but I think I was able to tell the room was on the east side.
Yes.
From where the sunlight was coming in, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I remember from the previous scrying, the room is somewhere on the east side. From the sunlight that I saw previously.
What side did we come into the Fallen Keep from?
You guys came in from the southern entrance.
Okay.
But I could certainly do a scry.
I don't think it will be necessary until night falls. Be better to do it once we have dismissed our helper here as well.
It would be pretty weird for them to come in the middle of it.
So, as he's mentioned, he does come back and, like with covered trays, opens them up. There's pork, there's chicken, there's roasted meats of all kinds, with a wide selection of like tomatoes, carrots, even an orange or two inside of these, and he just kind of lays them out in front of you and unstacks plates, puts them in front of you, knives, forks, napkins, drinks, and he has a big jug of wine that he puts in the middle. Would you like me to, if you need me, there's a little bell. You go, a little bell over there. You just ding it, and I will be rushing over.
Of course.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. And he shuffles out. And you guys notice that there is a hole. Kara, are you wearing your backpack on your back or the front?
Front.
So there's a hole appearing in the middle of the backpack, and you guys are seeing a long black tongue kind of starting to stick out of it, and you kind of see a tooth every now and again as the hole's getting torn a little bit.
Noodle's probably hungry. I'm gonna feed Noodle. Actually, I kind of want to see if I can start teaching Noodle common with like the food.
Okay.
What do I? Is that animal handling?
So when you lift Noodle out of your pack, he kind of looks at each of you, and he has red pupils with sort of almost bluish. What's that? The white part.
Sclera?
Thank you. Blue sclera around it, and he's kind of blinking and just kind of focusing on the food itself. Doesn't really seem to be noticing anyone else. He's hanging limply in Kara's arms, but his eyes are on that food.
Noodle, my backpack is not food. That is what I carry you in. And if you keep eating it, I can't like carry you on my front anymore. I'm gonna have to carry you like under my arm.
You're not going to be able to carry him within a 3-day span anyways.
How much bigger is Noodle gotten?
Honestly, throw an investigation check. You can't really tell. I mean, still looks about the size of a full-grown cat.
How much do you suppose one of these things eats usually?
I mean, he didn't exist before this, so I don't think there's a reference until we go see fucking off his rocker scholar man.
Probably, because it looks pretty ravenous.
Well, that's kind of how babies are. They need
Alright,
the
I want you
energy
to make-
grow.
I want you to make an opposed athletics check to keep holding on to.
Hell, Noodle.
Okay.
It's a good thing we can ring the bell for more food.
Cool. Let me just check this. Okay. Yeah. Like you're holding on and you're talking, and he easily kind of breaks free of your grasp. Plates, platters go flying everywhere as he's just chasing down everything. And you notice he's eating everything. He's eating the fruits, he's eating the meat, he's even eating the silver platters themselves. Well, fake silver. On closer inspection, it's obviously fake silver. More like tin that's been polished to a very bright shine, but he's eating it.
It's eating the silver.
Noodle!
It's eating metal.
Yeah, it ate my bedroll. What were you expecting?
Well, that's made of like animal parts.
Can I stop my train?
If you would like to go near a baby dragon eating, then you may make an animal handling check with disadvantage, with the potential for getting attacked.
How much does he look like he weighs right now?
Make an insight check. You know what? He looks big, but he's also a baby. You can fight a baby, maybe.
I still have the meat that I bought for him.
True, you do.
I've never had a pet before, you guys.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, in real life, I've never had a pet before, you guys.
What you're doing is great. Keep doing it.
All right. This has gone on far enough.
No, let her keep going. This is her problem, remember?
He's gonna walk over and he's gonna try and pick Noodle up from under the arms.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Make a grapple check.
Okay.
What
Just
could go
plain
wrong?
old athletics.
Yep, athletics check.
Disadvantage or regular?
Nope. So, You go to pick him up, and he dead weights you, lands back on the table, and looks up at you, eyes narrow, and he hisses. And I wasn't expecting us to do this, but go ahead and no, we're not going to do whole initiative. He's just going to go ahead and make a bite against you. Does a 18 beat your AC?
It does.
Cool. So his teeth crunch into your arm, and you are going to take 10 piercing damage and 7 force damage. And you are now considered grappled. He has yanked you onto the table and is growling fiercely.
Like off my feet onto the table.
Yeah. You're like, well, you're not off your feet. You're just kind of bent over the table now.
Ah!
Kara, your pet, is very unruly.
I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna try and scold this dragon.
Sure, make a. I love this. Like Zod, if anything, scooted himself back, leaning back in a chair, cleaned his hands in this whole situation.
I wonder.
Make an animal handling or a persuasion. Actually, it's an intelligent creature. Make a persuasion check to get Noodle to stop.
God damn it.
So I'm gonna just do. Noodle seems more intent on ripping off the arm of someone who tried to get in between him and food. Okay.
Jovin's just his arm tenses as I'm going to look Noodle in the eye and.
You're going to intimidate a dragon.
Oh, you could say that. I'm gonna have a little bit of flair to this. Air around Joven gets kind of colder, and his features get kind of like more like death-like as he just stares at this. As he keeps eye contact with Noodle and just says, "Let go."
Okay, that's a wisdom save, right?
Yes.
All right.
It's the unsettling presence, and it is not a save. It seems it's just disadvantage on the next saving throw.
Okay. So his eyes kind of widen a little bit, but he's still holding on.
And now I'm gonna try and get out of this grapple.
Cool.
Nope.
He just keeps holding down further.
I'm gonna cast polymorph on the dragon.
Interesting.
Oh no.
We're gonna find out what its wisdom is.
Cool. What's the DC?
15.
It has disadvantage on this next save.
Oh, good point. Well, it is not. What are you polymorphing it into?
I am going to fuck, what do I have in my goddamn nothing that can cause too much destruction? Probably like
a troll.
A venom troll.
I've probably seen a kitten.
Yeah, you've definitely seen a kitten.
And I'm going to
the kitten
grab him
is still gripping, like its teeth are still in Joven's arm.
by the scruff.
With a Mew, he's lifted up and kind of bats out at Joven a little bit. But Joven, your arm, bloody, bones feel like the teeth went in deep. And is just glaring at Joven.
Can I
So do you plan to do that just every time he acts out?
Can I try to scold him again?
Sure. Make a persuasion check.
God.
Oh God.
So you scold him, and he looks about as sorry as a dragon or cat can be,
Can confirm.
but also doesn't seem to be sorry at all.
I own 2 cats. Can confirm that is exactly how it is.
I'm going to go ring the bell.
So you go and you lift it and ring it, and right as you're like about to drop it, the door opens, and the cloaked figure comes in. Yes. Oh,
I'm just have a spare tablecloth that I've kind of just tourniquet the arm for the meat.
Still
That-
holding. I'm holding him.
where did you get a cat?
It was from my backpack. Do you perchance know of anyone that would be able to make a muzzle?
You want a muzzle for your cat?
Yes.
It essentially, yes. It bit my friend over there, and it's getting a little bit testy.
He's gonna look over at Jovan, who's ruining a tablecloth. Oh,
It's a very rambunctious cat, don't you think?
Don't worry about the mess. It can be cleaned up easily.
I will go find a muzzle for your cat.
He's not
Good
actually
luck.
this size. So if
He's
you,
what?
I'm going to gesture about how big Noodle's actual muzzle is.
He's going to nod and then disappear.
Really sold him on that one.
You could always just, drop the
Good.
spell and throw him at you.
And then I'll just
Please
kill it.
don't. That thing hit my bone.
Zahn, can we please stop the bleeding on Jovan's side?
I guess.
If you could, I'd appreciate it.
It was your fault. I told you to leave it to her. That's her problem.
Have I
Oh,
felt
sure.
force
I'll
damage
just-
before?
No,
I'll-
you have not taken force damage, but it felt like your body rippled from its bite. Like you could feel it, almost like a shockwave run across your body.
That
Give him
thing
10
bit
lay on
harder than
hands.
I have been hit. James hit less hard than that thing did.
You're just gonna keep him like a cat forever.
The cat snaps its jaws at Jovan again.
I'm just gonna keep attempting to scold it until it listens to me.
It gets a wisdom save again, doesn't it?
Where the fuck is
Polymorph, I think it's just the full time
Cool.
until it's taken damage or something.
Yeah.
So I thought so too. Just double checking.
Once the bleeding stops, I'm going to cast Prestidigitation and clean up the freaking tablecloth.
Thank you.
Sure. So yeah, so he does come back with a muzzle that's more or less in size you gestured.
Have fun getting
I'm
that on.
sorry, we didn't have a muzzle in that exact size, so I had to make do.
Perfectly fine. He's just a little grumpy. So that'll work.
And there's about
Thank you.
when he does come back with the muzzle, it takes him about 30 minutes to find and make one of appropriate size. So you have about 30 minutes left on your polymorph.
Do I try to scold him or do I do animal handling? Oh, +7 in persuasion and only a 1 in animal handling.
You can try to scold him again, but I mean, you've done it what, twice now, and he doesn't seem sorry.
The fucking muzzle's going on either way. So I'm going to try scolding him one more time.
Sure.
Just
Are you threatening him with the muzzle at the same time?
Yeah.
Go ahead, throw with advantage.
Okay. Oh shit.
Cool. He looks as shamed as a cat can be.
Which is not at all.
Yeah.
But he does not like the look of the muzzle.
It's going on regardless because you don't know how to eat properly and you bit Yoven. That's
No, I
not
think he knows how to eat
nice.
properly.
I'm gonna show him while he's in cat form to the rest of the party and introduce them. You do not bite these people under any circumstances. Do you understand me? You don't talk because you're a cat. I just realized that.
What happens when he bites someone else?
Well, I mean, the muzzle is staying on for the most part.
No, I'm sure that'll make him real happy.
You're just gonna.
Oh my
Until
god.
he learns not to bite random people.
Is this thing? Is it intelligent? Is it not intelligent?
Namako says it's pretty intelligent. So he
Then-
can definitely learn some manners.
Then maybe try to explain it.
I am
more
literally
as you-
going to use Awakened Mind again. And just tell the dragon cat that
You can use his name.
Nope. Then it
don't
becomes
know
a
if-
pet, and it's not your pet.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Just nod or shake your head if you understand or don't understand. Gara.
There's a slight nod.
Okay, I told it to nod its head if it understood you. So
Hey, I bought you food. Like, meat bat me next time if you're hungry. Don't just fucking start eating my backpack. I only have one of those. I'm gonna have to buy another one, like my bedroll and all that stuff you ate in the fucking tavern room.
You seem to have a great handle on this situation you created.
Alright, I'm going to put out the meat that I bought you. And I don't want you to just attack it.
Gotta teach it how to chew its food.
I don't think it chews is the problem. I think it just treads. Right, Noodle? You kind of just tread. So, I'm gonna arrange him a little plate. Please don't eat the plate. I don't understand why you're eating plates. I don't think that's healthy for you.
I'm moving to the opposite side of the room. As she's setting this up, I'm grabbing like a little bit of meat and fruit from the semi-destroyed thing on a half-eaten plate, and I'm just going to the other side of the room.
I'm in like a far corner, scolding this cat dragon. I'm gonna put out the food that I bought for you. If you are still hungry, meat bat me, and we can ring the bell for that guy that brought the muzzle. But also, if you bite me again, or if you bite anyone else, anyone, literally anyone, but especially the people in these rooms, you're getting the muzzle. Does it nod?
It's just sitting. It's looking at the muzzle, but make an insight check. I mean, he seems satisfied. He seems more wary of the muzzle than really anything else.
Bigger and bigger muzzle. Eventually, I'm gonna be carrying a cage on my back.
do animate object.
Yeah, I could. I absolutely could.
So do you drop polymorph?
I'm going to set out the little pile of meat in the corner. And I'm going to sit with him so that I can teach him proper manners while he
Okay.
eats. And I'm going to set him down after I put the meat out, have the hand on the muzzle, and just scoot back a little bit. And then drop polymorph.
So when the polymorph is dropped, he stretches out his like wings and neck and kind of looks around makes eye contact with Yoven, glares, and then
No.
goes into tearing into the meat.
If you want more, you can just tell me. You don't just attack people. Not all people are food. Some people are food, but not all people are food.
That sounds like a great thing to teach this creature. Is that some people are food.
I mean, everyone has enemies.
That doesn't make them food.
I just want to say I'm more concerned right now about us meeting the lord of this fallen keep with a dragon that could potentially just attack him.
Well, we're gonna feed him first.
Yeah, because that went well recently as well. He ate a tavern room and
I
did this.
fed him and then he slept, so I'm thinking I'm gonna have to start waking up and feeding him more often, like a real baby. I'm gonna have to alarm to feed baby.
Unseen servant.
Don't know unseen servant.
We'll just have a Johnny from Lord Falamir.
He might break him.
You might eat him.
So, what is everybody talking about while Kara is, I'm just going to say, doing a terrible job of parenting?
Hey.
That hurt a lot. I really hope this lord is reasonable.
Just let me do the talking and everything will be fine.
Okay. And if it's not, we'll...
Well, if it's not, you can die for the third time.
Yeah.
And you're the only one that seems to get passes around here in regards to death.
Yeah, it's doesn't seem to want me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Likes me to visit. Doesn't like me sticking around.
Cool. So, Noodle does finish his food and is continually trying to sneak over to the table to take the food there.
I said, tell me if you're still hungry.
After
sneak.
multiple trips of this poor fucking man going to go get food for this goddamn dragon, news of which you can be like rest assured has spread through the Fallen Keep like fucking wildfire. Night begins to fall.
Recommendation, Kara, keep him polymorphed.
How the hell are you going to feed this thing when we don't have someone giving us free food?
I mean, we're gonna have to travel for a while, and there are wild animals in the forest. And also, we're creatures that can help defend us from.
I'm sure no problems will ever arise from setting this thing free to have it hunt.
I mean, the creatures we've seen on our journeys up here don't exactly seem that they'd be good to feed this thing.
You saw him eat a polished platter. I don't think there is anything that will stop him.
Well, a creature can eat anything. It doesn't mean it's healthy for it.
And like I said, I'm sure there's no problems that will ever arise from letting him just go eat whatever he wishes.
I mean, he's mine, so.
It's your problem.
He's my noodle.
Cool.
Is he done eating, by the way?
He seemed like after he's done eating the meat, he seems more interested in crunching up the plate.
Oh, he needs enrichment. Oh.
Good source of iron.
Yeah, just gotta get that Get those minerals in there.
Well, you know what? I have a bag of infinite daggers.
Peter Dagger.
His teeth are so fucking sharp, you guys. He'll be fine.
Oh, I know. I know.
His teeth are the bag of infinite daggers.
So, the nightfall does arrive. In about 30 minutes after sunset, there is a knock at the dining room door.
Come in.
The cloaked figure steps in. The lordship will see you now.
Good. I'll step up.
Are you bringing your
I don't
pets?
know. Are we bringing the pet?
I'm gonna look. I'm sitting on the ground with Noodle. All right. We are going to see someone important. So the muzzle.
If you're
is
leaving
going
it here,
on.
I would rather you just stay behind with it.
Can you stop for just a second so I can talk to my goddamn dragon?
I take a swig of wine before we head out.
I take 2.
I just had the bottle off the topical, so then just drink a little more after.
I'm telling Noodle, the muzzle is going on because we're going to see someone important,
Stay on.
and I don't want you getting in trouble. You're gonna go in the backpack, and you're gonna go in with the muzzle. And then once we're done, if you're hungry, we can get you more food.
The dragon is just watching the muzzle.
All right. I'm going to set it in front of him. I have no intention of forcing it on you because I don't want you to fucking bat me. So come here.
So he's gonna kind of shuffle more over the remains of the shiny plate.
Noodle, I swear to God, I will turn you back into a cat if you don't get into this muzzle.
And he's
We
gonna
have a
lay
meeting
down
to go to.
and stick his head up for you to put the muzzle on.
All right. I'm gonna put the muzzle on, and this will come off so long as you behave. I'm gonna put him back in the backpack.
Everyone here. What's everyone's passive insight?
Passive insight?
Oh, mine's
Yeah.
pretty high.
So, insight? 11.
Let's go with 11.
My passive insight is... What is that? Hold on. My passive insight is 15. No, 16.
16. You have it?
12.
Okay, so you guys are kind of looking around. You guys are kind of waiting around. Zon, you notice that from the way that Noodle has kind of set up Kara putting on the muzzle,
Hmm?
it's almost like you can kind of see the reflection of the muzzle being put on in the tin. You might even say that Noodle was watching her put on the muzzle as if to take it off.
Not my problem.
Love it.
I imagine Zahn just turns and smugly smiles to himself, and then just goes.
I'm not helping.
Noodle accepts being put into the backpack, plotting. However, Alexander is not in the backpack when Noodle's in the backpack. Wants nothing to do with Noodle.
I imagine so. He did bite him a couple times. Alexander's not food either. I'm gonna show him Alexander.
No response from Noodle, who has closed his eyes.
Probably what I was like when I was a baby. No wonder Raya left.
So, you each follow, going to the lordship's chamber. Before you do, the cloaked figure stops and turns. Because this is a preliminary meeting, I do ask that this be retained to minor questions and introducing yourself. The very fact that you have a meeting with the Lordship is only because of Lord Falamir. There will be other meetings. You'll be able to ask anything you want. But please, introductions.
Of course.
Yes?
Of course.
Understood.
Look at Noodle. Behave.
For all you can tell, Noodle is asleep.
I'm gonna tell him anyway. I swear to God, if you don't behave, you're getting turned back into a kitten.
He's going to look at you and then kind of nod and open the doors where it's a throne room. Huge throne room with a dark red carpet that leads right up to a huge gilded throne in which lounges an androgynous, obviously a vampire figure. They have a iron crown that's sitting on their head. Their long fingers are adorned in rings, and you guys notice that the robed figure like kind of steps forward, head down.
I will follow suit, sort of
Yes.
head down as I
Same.
go with him.
Who has such a great faith from Lord Falamir?
That would be I, my lord. Zahn Masverick of the Masverick estate within Morhoth.
And the others?
Amakos Grey Castle of the Grey Castle estate, also from Moroth.
Kareen Ulday of House Ulday in the capital of Moros.
Joven of Dogwood Lumber Company.
Intriguing. So why have you intruded on our night?
We've come up north in search of a person who had gone off into the keep here. Multiple, actually. We only wish to assure that they are safe, and if they are not taken into harm's reach.
All guests within the Fallen Keep are treated with the utmost respect. Were your missing companions guests?
One of them might have been. The other was sort of taken in the night. We're not sure by who, and we just were to confirm that they are safe.
Taken from Moroth.
One of them, yes. Or actually, yes, both of them were.
Interesting. Well, do you have names of these companions?
Yes. The first is a scholar who we believe came of his own volition. We just wish to assure that he is safe. His name being... Just find his name. Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
The name being Siegfried Ramtassen.
you describe the Siegfried?
I believe he is of either the gnomish or dwarven stature. He was a expert on Velirine, I believe.
Hmm. We do believe there is such a scholar here, although they are known as a different name. Perhaps on another night you shall meet them. And the
Of
other, the
course.
one you said was taken by one of our
Yes.
subjects?
I don't know if it was one of your subjects. I just know that they had come here after being taken. Their name is Jethra. She is a drow.
We've had a series of drow come visit us in the recent days. You'll have to be more specific, we're afraid.
Oh, yes. Lord Farmer actually did have more information about her. I believe he said he had come through to be some sort of part of a delegation to speak to drow that came here.
Oh, our ambassador.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we do have such a drow working for us. Her name is unimportant to us, but any of our servants may give you it. She is fine, although we have her on specialized sort of work.
Of course. Would we be able to get in contact with her and see to her face to face just to assure that her well-being is kept and we may speak to her? She was supposed to be a part of my estate before she was sort of taken.
Mayhaps. Although we do not take subjects. They
Of
are
course.
invited.
Of course. I do not suspect any of your court here of actually kidnapping her or taking her. I just wish to confirm with herself.
Well, due to your dealings with Lord Falamir, you do not seem to be long-time acquaintances of theirs. So we assume that you know how the Fallen Keep works.
We have a fair bit of knowledge, not the entire picture. Obviously, we're still not exactly well accompanied with everything that goes on around here, but we have some knowledge.
So the figure stands and starts to almost float down to you guys. The robed figure kind of nudges you a little bit on and then gets down to one knee.
I will get down with him.
I will
Cool.
follow suit.
Yeah,
Yep.
so we all have to get down.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm following
So,
them.
the figure floats by. Well, you do not seem to be the sort that we require for now. We shall meet on the next night, where perhaps an opportunity shall open for you to show yourselves worthy of joining this specialized meeting.
That would be we would be very thankful for that.
So the figure turns and starts to glide back. You are dismissed.
Just gonna nod, not say anything, and get up and walk out with the other hooded guy.
Sure. So when you guys are outside, he's gonna turn to go, all right, that went well.
What was that at the end? I
I'm
was
sorry?
just sort of going with the motions there. What was that? Why did he have us all kneel like that?
Oh, well, you see, the thing is, you're not allowed to stand near one of such stature. It's showing submission to their power. there's other rituals as well, but was not expecting you to be approached by them. Otherwise, we would have shown you how to do the full gesture.
All right. Well, when we get back, I would appreciate it if you could sort of fill us in on a few of those, just so we don't rub any wrong noses anywhere.
Of course. So, back to your rooms, or I was told you do have full reign over the grounds, and as you know, Felomir's village is but a little over an hour away.
Right. Back to the rooms, I suppose. Don't want to make this lord upset with us going to see anyone.
Of course. So, and he starts to lead you guys back to the rooms, and that's where we're going to pick up next week. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week on FetchQuest. Learned a lot of great things. Met some fantastic creatures. Picked up something that's definitely not going to bite Carr in the ass later on. And we'll just see how this unveils. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Anybody have anything they want to plug? All right, you guys know the drill. Follow us on Twitch, like and subscribe our YouTube, and then follow us on Twitter. See you guys.
All right. Goodbye.
See ya. Stay safe.